here to show you how to cook jollof rice, which is a West African traditional meal. It sort of looks like red rice, but trust me, it tastes really good. So what you need to cook jollof rice is a whole bunch of ingredients. First of all, you need rice. I use long grain rice, and how I measure it is 1 large handful per person. I'm going to cook for 2, so I've got just about 2 and a bit in here ready. Another thing you'll need is salt to flavour the rice. You'll need tin tomato, which makes the rice red, and also a couple of Scotch bonnet peppers. Now, bear in mind these things are really hot. Trust me. So, depending on your taste buds, I would actually put 2, as in 1 per guest. But you know, they are really hot, so be careful. You'll need onions. You'll need basil. You don't need basil, but I love basil. Some people use bay leaf. You'll need jollof rice seasoning and some mixed herbs. You'll need oil to fry the pepper. We'll also need butter, which adds a nice little flavour to the jollof rice. What else do we need? We'll need a glass of water, and we'll come to that while I cook the jollof rice, the reason why we need water. And special ingredient, we have 2 Maggi cubes. Optionally, you can have stock, which I've pre-prepared. This is lamb stock. You can use beef stock, you can use chicken stock. I wouldn't recommend fish stock, just because I've never really had fish stock, but you don't want your jollof rice tasting all fishy either. So what we're going to cook with our jollof rice is we're going to have a couple of plantain, and we're going to have chicken, grilled chicken. So we'll have jollof rice, plantain and grilled chicken. Typical party piece. Okay, we're going to wash the rice. All I do is I pour, again, we're just going to check the measurements. 1 handful per person is what I do. Another handful. You now rinse the rice in lukewarm water. Now the reason why you want it lukewarm is to get all the starch out. Now as I'm rinsing it, you can see that the water turns all cloudy. Now that's the starch from the rice. And when you're cooking normal rice, this is what causes the rice to swell up. In jollof rice, you really don't want the rice to swell up too much. So you want to rinse out all the starch. And you're going to have to do this probably 3 or 4 times, rinsing it and refilling it until you get clear water. So I've shown you the ingredients and we've washed the rice, so the next thing we're going to do is blend the pepper mix. I'm just got a whole onion here. Now half of that is going into the blender. I'll just chop it up into 4 quarters. And what I'll do with 1 quarter as well is I'll slice it or dice it. Right, so 2 of these pieces are going in the blender. 2 of these Scotch bonnets are going in as well. There we go. Follow me. Just plop them in like that. I've already put in 1.5 tin tomatoes. And we blend it finely. Okay, as you can see, I've been blending for quite a while. Now what you need to do is just check the spice level, and I've got a nice little blender that you can take the top off. And I usually just smell how peppery it is. It is quite pepperish because I like it really hot, which is perfect. But the other thing is, it's quite thick. You don't want it to be too thick, so take your glass of water and just add a bit of water. Yeah, that should do. Just to little bit fine and keep You can stop now. Okay, so we blended the mixed peppers, and I've just put some oil, be careful, on the stove. And what I'll do is, with the chopped onions that I prepared earlier, I'm just going to dash them into the oil. Now be careful because it's going to sizzle. You want it to be nice and hot. There we go. It's going to sizzle for a little bit. This is just an indication. It helps to sort of judge when to pour your mixed peppers into the oil. So your oil really needs to be hot because you're actually going to fry the mixed peppers. So how I gauge it is, while the oil is frying the onions, you don't want to burn your onions. So while it's sizzling hot like this, it's the perfect time to pour your mixed peppers. Now, I don't want to burn you, so you might want to stand back with this. Another tip, what I do is I take the lid and I pour it from behind, shielding myself from the sparks, and just stash it in. If you come closer, you can just see that the mixed pepper is frying. Turn up the heat a little bit. You can see the bubbles. Now at this point, you want to put all the rest of your spices and ingredients as it's frying. So we're just going to add some thyme. Oops. We're going to add my lovely basil. Oh, it's smelling really good already. We're going to add our 2 Maggi cubes, which I probably should have peeled beforehand, but hey, this is live. Just plunk them in, they will dissolve, and you can see the oil is really cooking the mixed peppers. There we go. And then we'll just mix everything together. Crushing the Maggi cube. There we go, look at that. Smells great, by the way. Well, I am a bit biased, but hey. Okay. Now, if you've got everything, the next thing I would put in is the stock right at this point, while the heat is still high. And just take my stock. Now you don't obviously need the meat in there, so we'll just sieve it and just put a little bit of stock in there. Perfect. Again, mixing all the time, making sure the peppers and your seasoning all blend in together. Cover it up just for another 2 seconds, really. Next bit is we're going to get our rice that we rinsed earlier. Okay, you can pause it. I'm sorry about the little mishap. My camera woman sneezed because it was so hot. Anyway, so while it's still boiling, you need to put your rice in. Shake it in, shake it in, shake it in, shake it in, shake it in. Get it all in. Right, and at this point you can mix and stir the rice as much and as long as you want. Just making sure it's all blended in perfectly. That's good. Right about now also, quickly, I'm doing this quickly so that we don't actually boil the rice, because the whole secret about jollof rice is you actually want to steam the rice. And as you can see, my stove is getting really hyper now. So once you put your butter in, mixed it, got all the ingredients in, cover it. The last thing you need to do is now turn it down to the lowest heat. and leave to steam for about 20 minutes. I'll come back to you. Thank you. Okay, so now we're just back to our jollof rice that has been cooking for, what, 15-20 minutes. As you can see, it's steaming nicely. But what I've actually done is, I've forgotten to put the salt. But no harm done. All you need is to take your glass of water, dump some salt in there, as much as you need, mix it a little bit, and just add spoon by spoon, because you don't want to pour the whole water in there because you're going to lose the blend of the pepper mix in your jollof rice. So you're just going to add little drops in compartments here. You can actually split it a little bit. As you can see, it's already sticking to the pan, and you don't really want that. Let's add some more in those holes. Can you see the holes in there? Okay. Now at this point, you don't want to add too much water, and you also don't want to mix the jollof rice because it will come out all sticky. So all you need to do is just pick, I call pick and drop. Okay, take the edges, pick it and drop, because you do want to sort of mix the salt that you just added and all the other spices and all that, making sure that it's actually cooking evenly as well. So you just pick and you drop it. It's nice and red, as you can see. Pick and drop, pick and drop. Now there's hardly any water left in that pot for the rice to soak up, and I can actually see that the rice isn't cooked enough, and you can actually taste it and see. Very tasty. But here's another tip of mine. In order to speed up the steaming process, use some foil. Cover your rice. Mind your fingers. Pot's really hot. There we go. Make sure it's on low, always on low. Cover that. And check on it every 5 to 7 minutes. Doing the same thing. Lift off the foil, add your dabs of water, pick and drop it using the spoon, and yeah, just check the texture of the rice until it's fully cooked. Hi, we're back. Okay, so this is the final stage of the jollof rice. You've been checking it to make sure that it's steaming well. So I think we've probably got to the end of the show now. As you can see, because you put it on low heat and you've put the foil to sort of make sure that the rice absorbs all the water and the pepper, look, it just falls away nicely. Again, remember, you don't need to mix it. All you just need to do is pick it and drop it. Look how easily it just falls away. And that's how jollof rice is meant to look. It's not meant to be sticky, etc. And you know you've done a really good job. Look at that. So actually, it is probably ready to be served right now. There we go. Look at that. Lovely and red and healthy. Okay, just turn off the hob and we'll take it over to our serving. Nice spoonful. And there you have it. Jollof rice, grilled chicken, and fried plantain. Served to you by Ayoma Lady. Thank you very much for watching. If you like it, click the like button and subscribe. Thank you.